Hi, everyone. Ernie Anastas here. I want to take a moment to talk to you about something truly special. Shriners Children's. For more than 100 years, they have helped over 1.5 million kids with complex medical issues receive the most amazing care anywhere. Now here's Keshi's journey with Shriners Children's.
Shriners Hospitals for Children gave me back my mobility in every way. I got here in a wheelchair, and 2 years into my treatment, I was ready to go back to school and finish high school.
For the first time, Kechi was able to look up. And we take these things for granted, but he gave her hope. He gave her life back.
Once they realized how much I love music, it became a part of my healing. It became a part of my therapy.
I'm calling on 77 WABC's audience to help provide hope and healing by donating to Shriners Children's. Call 1-800-276-8007. That's 1-800-276-8007. Or go online to loveshriners.org to give.
A common sense recap of the day's biggest stories. It's John Catsimatidis and Rita Cosby. Katz and Cosby on 77 WABC.
And we are back here on Katz and Cosby. John is off on a special assignment, which we'll share with you. Great assignment. We continue with, of course, Rita Cosby, also Judge Richard Weinberg, Ed Cox, and Rudy Washington. And now let's go straight to Andy McCarthy, former assistant U.S. attorney for the Southern District of New York. Andy, real quick, I know you're following the Daniel Penny case. What's the latest? It's day 2 of jury deliberations.
You know, it looks to me like it may be a long one, Rita. It's already, I guess we're going to be going into day 3. I'm not sure if the jury's been dismissed for the day or not. But they asked for the kind of instructions yesterday that you would expect. I'm sure the judge has familiarity with this, where they come out and, the first thing they want is the main instructions of, legal instructions of importance to the case.
The essential elements. They want to know the essential elements.
Right. And here it was, self-defense and, justification. Interestingly, they also wanted instruction on causation, and I think there's a big issue in the case about whether the chokehold killed this guy as opposed to the narcotics that he had in the system. And then today, of course, they wanted most of the important video evidence. So It looks like I like the jury system. I worked in it a long time, and I think hopefully they're responsibly going through the things that you would have to do before you make an important decision. Of course, if I would prefer to have gotten an acquittal in 10 minutes, but that's not usually the way the world works.
Yeah, well, Andy, I served on a jury years ago. It was very interesting. I was happy to do it. It was a civil case. But if I were on this jury, I would be like, okay, acquitted, not guilty, 5 minutes, let's go back in. Well,
I'll tell you, Rita, it's something very cynical about this, though, and this is kind of like an old prosecutor's trick. But I think Bragg added this ridiculous, reckless homicide.
Compromise verdict.
Yeah, right, as a backup. I think we just lost Andy. Did we lose Andy, you guys? Okay, he's calling back. But he was bringing up the fact that there's just for layman's purpose, the more severe penalty, which is the manslaughter, which could be 15 years. And then there's the reckless endangerment, right, which could be 4 years. So in other words, maybe they don't want to throw, they have a compromise verdict and still give him something, which happens, right?
That's exactly right.
Wow, which is disconcerting. How often does that happen in jury rooms? A lot, right?
Well, they want to cut a deal.
Right.
It's a way of bringing somebody over for conviction.
Yeah.
Because they're negotiating amongst themselves.
Yeah, that's it. Do we have Andy? I'm waiting to see. No, we're trying to get Andy back on. But you know what does it say to you? You heard what he just said. He's been following this, that he thinks it's long. I mean, this has been, now it's a day and a half.
Look, listen, my view is that if it's long, and it's what I said to you earlier.
Hung jury.
Yeah. And when they're asking for the videos and they're asking for readbacks on the instructions, and they want to see whatever evidence came in. They read back the evidence, the testimony. That means that they're seriously considering it. I think it's good for a hung jury.
What do you think, Ed Cox, as an attorney?
At the very least, I think it's good for a hung jury.
You just don't know which way it could go. It could be just one holdout either way, and they're trying to convince that holdout.
Right. That's exactly. It goes back to the movie 12 Angry Men.
I would bet a hung jury.
Yeah, and by the way, we have Andy McCarthy back. Go ahead, Rudy, real quick.
I'm with you, Rita. I thought this case should have never been brought, and I was hoping for a 4-hour jury determination.
Yeah, 4 minutes. If I was in
Andy, when you got cut off, we were talking about the compromise verdict where you have the 2 counts on the reckless as well as the intentional.
Yeah, so I think what they're doing, Judge, is there's no evidence of recklessness here, which is you have to have basically a complete indifference to a potential for death that you perceive. There's no evidence of that in this case. The question, if you believe negligence plays in here, the only question is whether he held on to him too long under circumstances where he had every right to intervene in the first place. But I think Bragg put the recklessness charge in because if you have some people on the jury who say something has to be done here because Neely died.
Right, exactly right, Andy.
You try to get the other jurors to feel good about acquitting him on the recklessness and then convicting him on negligence. But in the meantime, that means he faces a 4-year potential sentence. Yeah. And Bragg doesn't care whether he gets 1 count or 2. He only needs 1 count to, quote, unquote, win the case, right?
Okay.
Yeah, and real quick, Judge
Andy,
Weinberg.
I want to talk to you about your column where you say there's going to be more pardons, and I agree with you, and for the reasons. Would you explain to people? People say, well, the case is over, he's been pardoned. Hunter Biden, statute of limitations run. Why is it so important to understand why there can be more pardons?
Well, because the sweep of the pardon means that he has no Fifth Amendment privilege anymore. He's got, he can no longer say he can't testify because he could incriminate himself, which means if the Trump Justice Department wanted to go after the Biden crime family stuff, the Biden influence peddling stuff, they could throw Hunter in the grand jury and, ask him about all the other people.
Ask him about his uncle.
In the scheme.
Ask him about his uncle.
Yeah, it seems to me that the immunity he gets from the deal, from the pardon, makes him a more enticing target, in a sense, for the new Justice Department if they want to play this game. I really hope they don't. But if they wanted to do this, he's a witness who's in the middle of everything who now can't refuse to testify. So
there's a lot of money there, too. There's a lot of stuff there to look into. Boy, oh, boy. Andy McCarthy, thank you very much, Andy.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. We love having you, Andy McCarthy. Thanks so much.
Take advantage of the exclusive holiday offer at Panorama Optical. Enjoy 15% off prescription glasses. And with every $500 spent on glasses, receive a complimentary pair of frames. Absolutely free. Don't miss this limited time deal running until January 1st, 2025 for eyeglasses, contact lenses, and to put your life in focus. Visit 241 Broadway in Lynbrook, New York, or call Panorama Optical at 516-341-0297 to schedule your appointment today. 516-341-0297.
Attention everyone! Wayfair's Black Friday preview sale is here early. Right now, score up to 70% off everything home at Wayfair. Shipped in time for the holidays. Shop early Black Friday deals now at Wayfair.com.
Wayfair, every style, every home.